Well, this has been a week. Hi, I am Matthew and this is Coda. How was your week? I hope you had a nice week. My week was crazy, basically. It was a very good week. It was slightly bizarre, and we're gonna talk about it in a minute. But first, let's talk about the artist of the week. But before we talk about the artist of the week, I want you guys to tell me what to listen to. If there's an artist or a band you're listening to and you think I would find it interesting, just feel free to drop any suggestions down below. We've got the first one for this week, and I hope to receive more from you guys and listen to some new artists I wouldn't normally listen to otherwise. But this week's artist has been Lionel Richie, and for sure it's been a joy listening to him. There were a couple of things I've noticed, and one of them was layers, for example, in a song. It was very interesting because he's using quite a lot of synths, but also with the guitar, and if you listen to it, the guitars that are the rhythm guitars, because we've got also guitar solos, which is great, but the rhythm guitars in the song aren't very beautiful. When you listen to them, the tone is quite annoying, but it sits so well within that range where it cuts through, but also doesn't fight with the vocal for the same frequencies. It's very interesting. Of course, Lionel Richie has a very good voice. His technique is on point. I really enjoy how he maneuvers up and down. You could not talk about Lionel Richie and not mention the fact that so many of the songs are written by him. He released a lot of stuff under the Motown label, which we talked about before. So there are other writers that wrote some songs for the albums, but the hits like, I don't know, Hello, they are written by him, which is great. And also I found it very interesting while listening to the album. So like on the Can't Slow Down, Hello, which is the hit of this album, one of the hits, which for me is like one of the most recognizable songs by him, is the last song on the album. It's so interesting because nowadays it seems like the most popular song is the third one. When you look at the albums, usually the third one is like the hit that everybody recognizes. Whereas in his album, that song is the last one. Interesting. Well, this week, as I said, what happened this week was something quite amazing. So on the 1st of July, I had a gig as a part of the Crooner show, and I really enjoyed that gig. As I said before, I think that was one of the best gigs I've played ever, probably. It was because the audience was involved in it, and it was all really fun, and I didn't have to work, and it was all very free-flowing. It was very, very nice. But what happened after the gig, I didn't mention it because, well, you don't mention those things until they actually happen. And it actually happened. There was a gentleman called Andy who came to me after the gig, and he was like, oh, would you be interested in coming to radio and giving a little interview, talking about what you do and maybe playing a song? And I was like, of course. Now, of course you say yes. You say yes to everything, basically, where I am. When you are where I am. And I said yes, and then we exchanged contacts. Well, he took my contact, I didn't take his, which in the retrospect I should have. But I didn't hear from him for a while, so I was like, oh, okay. And I thought it's like probably a small radio, it's nothing big, you know. And then on Thursday I've got an unexpected email from him saying that they would love to have me on Gail Lofthouse show on the Friday. That was the following day. So I freaked out a little bit because I wasn't prepared for it. Of course I said yes, because they said if not, then you know we can rearrange and do it another day. And I said no, we're taking it now. And it was a bizarre experience. Like I don't think I'm nowhere near to be involved in those kind of things. You know, technically, I still consider what I'm doing a starting point. I still haven't released anything official. You know, I've moved from Southampton to Leeds, and nobody knew me here in September. And now I try to go out there and do what I do and see who likes it and who doesn't like it. And it turns out some people like it, and it's great. And like I'm happy because I've been trying to do something all my life, and as I said on the radio as well, it seems like things are falling into place, and it's really nice. Anyway, so how did it look like? So I came to BBC Leeds around 11:50. The show starts at 12, around 12. Yeah, and there was a very nice lady, Emma, who picked me up from downstairs. She took me upstairs. Everybody was super nice. They were super chill. Yeah, and it was very bizarre. And every time there's something big happening in my life like this, and I had a couple of those moments in my musical life, where something big happens, and instead of being in a moment, I kind of close myself down, and I still try to understand that it's going on. I had to really consciously make a decision to be in a moment instead of thinking, oh my god, this is happening, and then it's done, and you think and you look back at it and you're like, oh, so it just happened. Okay, well, and that happened to me, and it's not the worst feeling in the world, but it's a bit of a shame, because sometimes the pressure gets to you, and it's normal, I think, and it's something you learn, but also it's good to stay in the moment and enjoy the moment, because you live it once. That moment never happened again. Anyway, so we sat down. There was, a quick preparation for the microphones, for the guitar and myself, and then we had a chat. And I believe you can find the chat on the BBC Leeds station if you're interested in listening. But it was a very nice opportunity, and we talked about music, we talked about what's going on with the single, and we talked about some foods and drinks that I would have on the imaginary stage that I took a part on. And it was really, really nice. And thank you very much to BBC Leeds and Gail for having me, and Andy for putting me on, because I wouldn't expect that to happen this month, or this year even, really. And thank you. I said that Step by Step is coming. Let me catch you up a little bit on what's going on. So I think we have an official master that is ready. So basically, when you record a song, you capture it, and then there is a mixing process which levels all the instruments and stuff to make it into a coherent song. And then you master it, so you bring the levels up so it is on the same volume that everything else you can hear on Spotify's, YouTube's and whatnot. Which means I can start organizing everything for the actual release. So what happens now is I use one of the distributors to upload the song to all the medias, and I set up a date of the release, which I still have to decide on, and then you wait. You wait, because the song has to be uploaded, and then all the services have different timings on when it's gonna be uploaded. It usually takes up to a month, and then we're gonna go, and it's a ready, steady, go moment, and you're there, and your song is out in ether. Except for the song itself, as I mentioned, we have an animation with talented Valeria from Bulgaria. And I'm meeting her after recording Coda to go over the animation, see if there's anything I would change or like or dislike. We also had a little meeting in Roundhay Park yesterday for something that's really exciting for me, but I'm gonna keep it a secret for now, because I have to be mysterious. So this Artist of the Week has been proposed by Preet in the comment section under the last video, and it's Tom Grennan. We're gonna have a listen to him. We'll see what he's about, because I've never heard that name before. And that's it for this week. Thank you very much for watching. As always, if you like it, share it. If you have any Artist of the Week that you think I should listen to, leave it down below. I will make sure to get to any of them. Whatever you think I should listen to, I will. And that's it for this week. Thank you again, and I'll catch you next week in Coda. See you guys.